Okay, I'm here, trying to hit this real quick between lunch and work. I left my notes at home, so I'm probably gonna have to redo this, but I want to talk about the quad. Basically, I don't recall anything that happened because I've been working non-stop for almost 2 straight weeks, no off day, and I'm an introvert, so I have to have, really optimum for me would be 2 days of no contact with anyone outside of like my mama. I don't even remember where it starts. Like, I remember Eva, her lawyer came in and he looked like a smudged Jason Pitts. Like, he looked like Jason Pitts, but like ugly. Not necessarily like straight ugly, but just like a weird looking Jason Pitts. So he comes in and they're talking about the divorce or whatever, and come to find out he wants $20,000 per month, every month, for spousal support. And she's like, no, basically, we're not gonna do that. And actually, I think I'm gonna get this whole divorce proceeding moment out of the way. Like, he asked for $20,000 a month and all of that, and then a little later on in the episode, we're actually sitting down across the table, you know, the lawyers and the divorcees, and they're trying to get it, you know, all together. What all we gonna, you know, agree on or disagree on, and what can we work out? And it got really weird. I like don't understand, and I don't know if it's because like mentally I'm so drained from all this work I've been doing and all of that, but I didn't get it. We were talking and we, you know, somehow got into Eva asking the lawyer to ask Derek when he first fell in love with her, or when he stopped loving her, or something like that. And he starts talking and he's like, he met a girl and she got pregnant and yada 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 or something like that. And then Eva is like, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, could you repeat that? And then she starts talking about how, because he's talking about how the girl was pregnant, yada yada yada, and then Eva, you know, picks up the rest of the conversation. It's like, the bleeding wouldn't stop and he lost the baby and his girlfriend. And I'm like, Eva, did you die? Are you a ghost? I'm so lost right now. Like, I'm super de-duper, in the words of Barney, confused. What did I miss something? Like, I need somebody to drop down in the comments, like, what happened, because I'm confused. Like, I don't know. Oh, my hair's a mess. I gotta get this together. I'm, like, super, super confused about, because the question was, when did he fall in love with Eva, correct? So then he started talking, and I don't know if he was talking about Eva or if he was talking about this other girl, but then Eva drops in with, you know, the bleeding wouldn't stop, and then he lost her and the baby, and then he bought me some earrings and asked me to wear them often, and then I found out they were her earrings, and he called her name while they were having sex, and I'm like, what, how is it, what? Like, the whole situation to me is just, I'm lost. I'm so confused. What were we saying and what were we talking about during this? Because from what I understood prior to this moment is that Eva, like, maybe I thought I understood that Eva accidentally got pregnant, but he persuaded her to keep Sydney. So that's what I thought we were talking about when he was like, I met the girl and then she got pregnant. Like, I thought we was talking about Eva, and then all of a sudden she died, and I'm like, who? What happened? So that's what happened with Eva and her divorce proceedings. And she just didn't seem like herself this week. She was very I don't know, it was like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it was a softness about her, but it wasn't like it wasn't like just normal gentleness. It was like a sad, you know, demure, depressed vibe that she was giving off. And that's a testament to Anika Noni Rose and her acting, because, like, I don't know, it's just that it was a very subtle, like, they would ask her questions and she would just be like, oh no, I don't think, I'm not sure. Like, Coach came in and they were talking about, because she's still pissed at Coach, and I'm still a little annoyed with Coach myself, but they were talking about the football team they're being looked at to be portrayed on TV or something like that. Like, one of the sports shows wants to have like a weekly, I don't know sports, so I really don't know, but Coach said that it would end up bringing $10 million to the school over the next 2 years. Because Eva was like, no, I don't think we're gonna do that. And he's like, $10 million, 2 years. She was like, oh, okay, I'll be at the meeting, that's fine. Like, she agreed, but she was sipping her tea, and it was just like a vibe that she was giving off that just wasn't, like, she's not in her zone right now. And I mean, she hasn't been in her zone, I would assume, since she got here, because the only reason she's at the school because she got fired from the other school for sleeping with Crazy Cutie. So it's like, it's just, I don't know what her zone is. I don't know if she's getting back into herself or if she's like even more not herself. It was a weird little moment for me. But we'll skip over to the dinner. They get to the dinner. I wasn't really paying attention because this week it felt more like a filler episode. Like Sydney wasn't even in it. Like how we go from like this big rape allegation to the whole episode Sydney didn't show up. But anyway, we get to the dinner, and Coach, Eva, and the TV network fella are talking. She ordered a 20-ounce steak. I've never had a 20-ounce steak in my life. That is a hefty steak. I can't eat that much. A 16-ounce steak for me, I would have to take some home. But she got a nice size steak, and they were talking and something. Oh, it came up that QB, I really don't remember his name. It might be Terrence. I feel like Terrence is a character on the show, but I'm still calling him QB because I'm not sure. QB, the guy's like, so we hear that QB has been accused of sexual assault or something like that. We really don't want that. You know, we don't want our company to take that on, so y'all gonna have to do something about that. Now, Eva's been riding for Bojan since, you know, the land before time. So she's like, cool, we'll just put Bojan in. That's fine, because she don't like QB anyway, because QB may or may not, because we'll talk about it in a second, but may or may not have raped her daughter. So she's already like, F him for life, like for real, like I don't have time. And she already was riding for Bojan even before any of this happened. So she's like, yeah, it shouldn't be an issue. We'll just, you know, work it out. And Coach is like, well, we're going to have to get back to you. And Eva's like, well, I'm sure you'll be happy with our answer. Like, F QB, basically. And yeah, so that happened. Let me move over to... Okay, I remember what like the very first scene was now. White roommate was minding her business, and the sexual assault committee on the school campus grounds people, like one of the girls was like, where is Sydney? We need her for this rally, yada yada yada. She is the face of sexual assault on this campus. And I'm like, that is not, nobody wants to be the face of rape down at the school or down at anywhere. Like why would you be riding so hard for her to be the face of sexual assault at the I didn't care for it. And white roommate was like, what do I have to do to get y'all to leave her alone? Now in this moment I'm sitting here like, but you are the ones that called them and outed Sydney's situation to them, so this is basically your fault. Like straight up. But she's annoyed and she's like, leave her alone. She's trying to, you know, get her life back together. She's trying to heal. And then later on, white roommate is tiptoeing down the quad and QB pops up on her and he's like, I need you to get your friend to tell the truth. Like, I didn't rape her, and check the video. What kind of person smiles after being sexually assaulted and da 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 da. Now, I don't recall seeing a smile. I may have missed it, but I didn't like this scene, and I don't like the direction that the quad seems to be going with this, because if we just out here lying about rape, I'm not down for that. Like, if that's what Sydney's got going on, I don't care for it. I don't think that's dope at all. So he's like, you know, I didn't do this, yada yada yada. And she's basically like, leave me alone, leave her alone, leave everybody, get away from me. And she's like shook up because he popped up on her and he was in her space, and you know, he has this reputation now, and I'm not sure if it's an actual, like, if it's okay, my mouth just gave up. I don't know if it's like warranted, if this is actually tea, or if this is just, you know, not the truth. And I don't like, because I would like to know straight up what happened. I don't like this guessing around. I don't like the seeds of doubt that the quad is putting on this right now, because it would really, I would probably have to stop watching the show if we go in the direction that Sydney lied. Like, I'm not, but just the way she reacted to the video, like, to me, that was solid proof right there. Like, her hollering and crying and falling out and you know, all that she gave, that Oscar-worthy, you know, crying scene was enough for me. So I'm not down with the seeds of doubt that the writers are throwing in with, you know, check the video and who smiles, and like, I didn't see any smiling at all. Anyway, scooting back over to Bojan. Bojan and the East Side Boys are down in their room. I don't know whose room it was, but they in somebody's room and they are playing dominoes. Bojan wins against little hefty sized football playing fella, and you know, they just having a good time. He just learned the game and now he went in and they, you know, shook, whatever. Taina or Taisha, Tai is in the room too, and they just all hanging out. And I'm like, is this for to turn into a threesome? What are we doing here? Why are we all hanging out? You know that Bojan likes you, but do you like him? Like, where are we going with this? But anyway, so all of a sudden, I guess it was Bojan's room, because all of a sudden Mother and Father John come through. Papa John comes down and he's like, you know, we've got this meeting, da 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 da, something like that. Bojan is like, I won't, and I am telling you, I'm not going. Like, he's not, he doesn't feel like it. Like, we having a good time in here, let's do this. And his daddy's like, do you mind, to the you know, the hefty football player and Tai, he's like, do you mind if I spend some time with my son right quick? I got, you know, some tea. We gonna discuss. And Bojan tells them, you know, it's cool, just go ahead, you know, it'll be alright. Tai got real bold all of a sudden. She's like, you know what, we gonna stay. I'm like, I would not have, especially after Bojan told her that he and their whooping tail. I personally don't want to be tail whipped. I would have left, but I would have alerted security to swing by Bojan's room right quick and make sure everything's kosher. But that's just me. That's what Kayla would have done. But yeah, so they do that, and I mean, Tai, we're just Tai. She says we're gonna stay, and so I don't know hefty football player's name, but he and her stay. Papa John was like getting riled up and pissed, and Bojan was like, I won't be going to the function. He grabs Bojan, and Bojan grabs him. He punches Bojan in the face, and he was getting ready to swing again, I think, and then hefty football player like grabbed his arm and was like, I wouldn't do that to, you know, if I were you. And then hefty football player was like, you need to get out of here before I forget that I grew up in church. And I hollered, because I'm like, that's so me. That's a very me thing to say. But yeah, like, and I turned to my mom after this moment, and I was like, if Papa John had the audacity to punch his son in the face in front of company, imagine what he was doing behind closed doors. Like, I can't, I'm shook. Like, he probably been in there just wailing on Bojan, just a mess. That boy probably got brain damage. He probably got the same thing that true roommate with the brain damage has. Like, it's a mess. But what else happened? I feel like that's pretty much it. Like, I'm trying to recall. I'm not receiving anything in my spirit. If I remember something, I'll come back. But that's all I got for the quiet right now. Peace.